Hi and welcome to this video. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we're at the Point of Ayr Lighthouse in Talacre in North Wales, an absolutely stunning lighthouse. It's on a little bit of a lean, as I'll explain a little bit later. I'm here today to show you how to get some composition techniques. And the great thing about this location is that there is going to be so many compositions. As the tide goes out, it leaves behind it a whole raft of sandbars, pools, little streams leading back into the sea. It's a pretty nice day today. The sun is out, it's absolutely gorgeous. I've timed it so that the tide is going out, which is perfect. And while walking through the dunes, I've just noticed this great view of the lighthouse over above the sand dunes and the grass. Let me just spin you around and show you. So this here is the view I'm talking about. We've got the grass and we've got the lighthouse poking up above it. We can see the doorway entrance in the lighthouse. Let me compose an image. This looks absolutely brilliant. This is the image that I've just captured. What you can see in this composition, we've got the grass in the foreground, leading the eye, and then we've got the lighthouse and the door through the grass. And here's another couple of compositions, one with a boat going past and one without. What an absolutely amazing place. Okay, let's head on down now to the lighthouse. You can see the tide starting to go out. When I arrived, it was surrounding the lighthouse. So let's head on down to the lighthouse and we can see some pools already starting to form. There should be more after the tide gets a little bit lower in about an hour or so's time. I'm on the beach now. It's starting to quiet down already actually. The breeze has just got up a bit, so I think all the families and everybody are going home, which is great news, especially as the tide's going out, because it does drop out quite a long way here from the main part of the beach. And if you're thinking, oh, maybe my horizons aren't level, the lighthouse is actually on a lean. I'll do a little bit of zooming on this bit of video just to show you that it actually does lean, which is a characteristic of this lighthouse. So if you think I've got my horizons wonky, it's actually the lighthouse that's leaning over. Right, let's get down there. There's some nice puddles down here, lovely sandbars as well. Right, let's get a composition. I found my first composition. What I've done, let me again spin you around very quickly. Got my tripod nice and low, got my filter on, my polarizing filter at this point in time. But what I've got is I've got all of these foreground partials, little sandbars, mini sandbars as the sea's gone out. We've got a great reflection of the lighthouse. And this really brings it home how much the lighthouse leans over into the sea. I'm assuming it's got quite a few years left in it, but this is my composition. And what I really like about this composition, this image, is the lighthouse leaning, the old path that is pretty much collapsed now, the stairs leading up, the reflection. I like the way that the sand on the left frames it and gives character to the image as well as the foreground. I found this really small post, but then what we've got is the lines of the sandbars. I need to be careful not to go and stand in this to put footprints in, leading all the way to the lighthouse. So what I really like here is the compression of the image that I can do using the foreground feature, which is just a few centimeters, a foot tall, with a 25 meter tall. I'll Google that afterwards and just drop the height down below. And here I've got the image blended from two that I captured, one with the foreground in focus and one with the background in focus. And with this image, I image blended three together in Lightroom. You can do this in whatever software you may use, but I had one focused on the post in the foreground, one on the lighthouse, and just one on the midground between the two features of the photograph. And please remember to hit that like and subscribe button. Your support for the channel as we grow is absolutely massive, and this channel would not exist if it wasn't for supporters like yourself. Okay, let's go find our next composition. This scene is absolutely stunning, and I'm surprised there aren't a lot more people here, which is really good for the photography. And so I found a really great composition here, which I've actually not seen before of this lighthouse. So what we've got here, we've got the foreground, little water running into this stream here. And then the stream flows around the bottom of the lighthouse, around the base. But we've got the old collapsed path as well, leading towards the lighthouse, and then the lighthouse leaning over. Really like this composition. So what I've done with this image is I've focus stacked 3, focusing on the foreground, the water feature, the midground, the sandbank in front of the lighthouse, and then the lighthouse itself to create this image. And I've got a beautiful reflection now in one of the pools. I've still got my 10 to 18 on, although I've got it at the 18 end. But what I'm going to do is do 3 images, and I'd love to know which one of these is your favourite. I'm going to do the first one, which I'm going to show now, shows the lighthouse in the top third and more of the beach spread out beforehand. The second one, which is now with the lighthouse in the middle. So we've got a bit of the sky, we've got a bit of the beach as well. And then my third one, which I'm displaying now, is with the lighthouse at the bottom third. We've got a little bit less sky and a lot more beach. I'd be intrigued to know which one you prefer. I've got my personal favourite. I'm not going to give that away on the video. Drop a comment below and I'll let you know which one is my favourite too. And the beach here is just strewn with shells as the tide goes out. Mussels, clams, so many different varieties of shells. But what I've located is some small shells just here, just down on the beach, right in the middle of the sand ripples. So you can see here, these are the ones that I've identified, and they lead right up to the lighthouse. And this is the image that I captured. I really love the lines of the sandbars, the shells along the top of the sandbar and down through the middle, and then the actual leaning, I still can't believe it leans quite as far as it does, but the leaning lighthouse leaning over. And you know me, not always a big fan of rules, but this one does follow the rule of thirds. Bottom right hand third for the shells, top left hand third for the lighthouse. And the weird thing is, there's a mist coming in. Absolutely brilliant. I could never have predicted this today. And I had wondered why the wind farm just offshore, which is a massive wind farm just offshore here, had disappeared from view. And it was great because no photoshopping on my part to get rid of it, but it was the sea mist coming through the wind farm. It's starting to roll through, really atmospheric, and the sun's behind me. So hopefully this is going to come through as a really great effect. I'm just changing position. The sun is just peeking through the sea mist now. I'm just changing position to try and get the lighthouse backlit, or at least the sun coming through the lighthouse in some way. So I'm pretty much at the foot of the lighthouse now. You can see the sun coming from behind it. Brilliant, it's silhouetting the lighthouse superbly as the mist rolls through. I can't explain how magical this scene is, I don't think. And here's a short gallery, so I'm rushing between settings here, between compositions. So here's a short gallery of some of the images I've captured whilst the mist has been rolling in. I do hope you've enjoyed this. The sea mist was an extra special bonus, I feel. Great end to this photo shoot, and I do hope that you've learned something through the compositions and the tutorials as I went through each of them. Please remember to like and subscribe to the channel, and also check out these videos next. Thank you very much for your time in watching this video, and until next time, thank you and see you soon.